Welcome to the Interactive Motion course. This video opens Inner Space Lecture, where we'll create a complex interactive menu using all the characters from previous lectures. In first part, we'll focus on rigging the faux 3D space using bones and constraints. Let's get started. Firstly, follow the link in the video description and download the Start Project file. Inside, you'll find a color palette, overlay for dimming, background composition, and a listener set up to track cursor movement. We configured this listener in the previous YouTube lesson. Check out the semisphere lesson to see the creation process. Let's move on to practice. In the first step, we'll create the space design and prepare the bones for further work with the lines. Turn off the visibility for colors, overlay, and outer space. Create a proportional ellipse and center it. Set size to 170 by 170. Rename the layer and move it in the hierarchy. Next, create 8 bones placed around the ellipse. Select the Bone tool and create a bone. Snap to the ellipse's top point. Duplicate the bone and snap to the lower point. Duplicate and move the bones to the left and right edges. To avoid creating the remaining bones manually, select the existing bones and group them. Move the origin to the center. Duplicate the group. Change the group's rotation to 45 so that the bones are equally spaced. Select the duplicates and move them into the group with the first bones. Without deselecting, change the rotation to 0. Organize the hierarchy. Group the bones and the ellipse. Change the origin. We've set up stage 1. In the next step, we'll create the remaining stages and set up the space rig and design. First, we'll add the fill to stage 1. Enable outer space. Activate the clip. Select ellipse 1 as the clip target. Done. Next, duplicate stage 1. Move it lower in the hierarchy. Increase the scale. Enable colors and change the fill of stage 2. Duplicate stage 2. Move it lower in the hierarchy. Change the scale. Recolor it. Duplicate stage 3. Move it lower in the hierarchy. Change the scale. Recolor it. Duplicate stage 4. Move it lower in the hierarchy. Change the scale. Recolor it. We've finished setting up the design and rigging of the inner space. In the next step, we'll create the lines that will convey the volume of our inner space. Select the pen tool and place 5 points where the bones are positioned. Add a stroke and set the thickness to 0.5. Remove the fill. Change the stroke color. Next, we need to create 7 similar lines where the bones are located. Since all bones are mathematically spaced every 45 degrees, we can speed up the creation of the remaining lines. Move the origin to the center of the artboard. Duplicate the object. Change the rotation to 45. We see the line is positioned correctly. Make 6 more duplicates, rotating each by 45 degrees relative to the others. Next, we'll bind the lines to their respective bones. Select line 1 and go into Edit Path mode. Activate Bind Bones. Select the 5 bones in sequence. Press Enter to confirm the binding. Next, go into Edit Path mode and adjust the weight for every point according to the specific bone. Repeat the bind bones and weight setup for each line following the video. The lines are bound to the bones. Let's move the stages around to see the effect. Group the lines and move them in the hierarchy. In the next step, we'll set up a parallax effect for the room using the strength difference of the translation constraint. Select the clip artboard. Select Stage 1. Add a translation constraint. Without changing the settings, click on the target and select Pointer Target. We see that at strength 100, the object follows the pointer position exactly. Change the strength to 50. We see the object still follows the pointer, but the effect is twice as weak. If we change the strength to 0, the object stops following the pointer. Strength can also be negative. Change the strength to negative 50. Now the object moves in the opposite direction from the cursor. If we change it to negative 100, the reverse movement doubles. For this stage, I want to set the value to negative 30. This gives us the desired effect. Select Stage 2 and add a translation. Change the strength to -5 as Stage 2 is closer to the camera than Stage 1. Select the pointer target. Select Stage 3 and add a translation. Set the strength value to -5. We see that Stage 2 and Stage 3 create a slight plane since they have the same strength value. Select Stage 4 and add a translation. I want this stage to be at the same distance as Stage 1. Set the strength value to -30. The room is set. With the difference in translation constraint strength, we can create unique 3D effects. Enable the overlay and add a translation. Set a positive strength value of 10 and select the pointer target. Movement is added to the overlay. Select outer space and add a translation. Set the strength to -60 as the background is much farther from the camera. The 3D effect for our inner space is set. Next, we'll move to compositing and adding light effects. First, let's fix the visual errors. We see the background is showing through, so let's fix that. Select outer space. Add another clip target. Select Ellipse 2. Now we see the fill of Ellipse 1 is showing through. Select Ellipse 1 and disable the fill. The background displays correctly, but now we see a problem with the lines. To composite the lines, we need to split each long line into 4 segments and work with the segments separately. To do this, select the group lines. Create 4 similar groups by duplicating them. Start by creating lines for Stage 1. Hide the visibility of the other 3 groups. Select the first line and go into Edit Path mode. Keep only the first 2 points and delete the others. Repeat this procedure for the remaining lines following the video. We've separated Stage 1 lines while keeping the bindings. To prevent the lines from showing through, we'll limit their visibility with a mask. Select Lines 1 and activate Clip Target. Select Ellipse 2. The visibility of the lines is now limited by Ellipse 2, and the display is correct. Next, enable the Lines 2 group and leave only the 2 points belonging to Stage 2. Lines 2 are ready. Similarly, prepare lines 3 following the video. Lines 3 are ready. Prepare lines 4 following the video. Lines 4 are ready. Let's enable the visibility of all the lines and check the result. I see that rows 3 and 4 of the lines are cutting through the stage. We need to place the lines below stage 3. Select lines 3 and activate Draw Rule. Select the mode below target. Click on the target and select Ellipse 3. Lines 3 are fixed. Select lines 4 and create a draw rule. Select the mode below target. Click on the target and select Ellipse 4. The lines display correctly. In the next step, we'll create a lighting effect using gradients. Select Ellipse 1. Duplicate and rename it. Go to Properties and increase the size. Enable Fill and change it to Radial Gradient. Change the outermost point to white. Reduce the opacity to 0. Change the blending mode to Overlay. Add a clip target. Select Ellipse 2. We've created an inner glow. Now let's create an outer glow. Duplicate Light In. Since outer space is above in the hierarchy, we don't see the gradient effect on stage 1. To see the effect, activate the Draw Rule. Select above Sun object. Adjust the gradient parameters. Change the clip target to Ellipse 1. We get a small glow around the window. Let's create another gradient layer for the outer stage 2. Duplicate Light Out. Move it inside stage 2. Change the clip target to Ellipse 2. Increase the scale for Light Out 2. I see the light is displaying on top of stage 2. Select Light Out. Add another clip target and select Ellipse 2. Go back to Light Out 2. Change the blending mode to Color Dodge. Also add a translation. Set the strength to 3 and select Pointer Target. Increase the strength to 8 to enhance the parallax effect. Select lines 2, 3, and 4 and reduce the opacity by 50%. The inner space setup is ready. To continue this project and get access to the full lecture, join our interactive motion course. Visit our webpage to explore all the projects we'll create during the video lessons. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated with fresh Rive tutorials.